Hey YouTube, happy Friday. Well, did anyone else notice something missing this morning? Game recognized game. Okay. I stayed up all night last night watching this damn healthcare bill fail, right? This change of Obamacare, which of course I'm rooting for the Obama team. I think they should start governing and just fix whatever's wrong with that program. That took lots and lots and lots of work. Why would you take it back, start from zero, when you know you have nothing to replace it with? It's dumb. Anyway, so I was very happy to see that their attempt to repeal failed. But isn't the whole United States of America supposed to be now acknowledging that this thing has failed? Isn't this supposed to be the most humiliating day of Donald Trump's presidency so far? Is this a major failure? Isn't this a thumbs down for Donald Trump's presidency? What do I see? Top of the morning. Oh, Donald Trump just threw Reince previous under the bus. And this is almost a literal throw. It's like he's coming off that plane, having to talk about one thing, and out comes Reince previous, right up under the wheels of the plane. What is this? It's just so blatant. This man is, and listen, I told myself a long time ago, I did not want to review any reality TV. I said, Real Housewives and all these children, even if I peek in every once in a while, I'm not going to be bothered with trying to review that stuff because it's all fake, right? That's what I said. And here I can't seem to resist or stay away from this damn Trump because daily he's putting on a reality show. Now, we're all supposed to be talking about the failure of the healthcare bill, the real failure of it now. This is about the, I don't know how many times it's failed, but this is supposed to be the conversation. He switches the conversation. He's a master at this shit. He switches the conversation. How can we change the conversation from this, my great failure? I don't want people talking about my great failure. How do you switch it? Take your chief of staff and throw his ass right out into the goddamn tarmac. That's exactly what he did. The way I hear it, they're trying to spin it, of course. That's what they do. They're spinning and say, oh, we've been talking about this for 2 weeks. Oh, Reince, he quit yesterday before the vote. Such bullshit. When he got off that plane today, Reince previous walked to the car, one of these armored cars with the other staff, and the other staff got out of the car and left him there. He went a different way. He didn't even go back to the White House. Now that's a firing. Woo! You ain't playing that. You ain't playing to humiliate me on public television. This is just ridiculous. The way he did this boy. All the ones, Donald Trump always talking about how loyal he is. He is the most disloyal president or most disloyal public figure I've ever seen. All of them. I would not be comfortable coming into work at that White House because anybody is able to go. Kellyanne, don't feel so comfortable, child. You're too controversial. And you notice after they get, when people start talking about how any of the staff, next thing you know, he done fired them. Because he don't want nobody in the spotlight, or he just silenced them. They were talking about Steve Bannon. Now, have you heard Steve Bannon's voice? I have not heard that man's voice in 2 months. Kellyanne Conway. They all talking about Kellyanne Conway. Banning her from stations. What happens to her? I haven't heard from her. Nobody is going to upstage Sir Donald Trump. Just awful the way he did it, dude. Even if they did want to replace him. That timing is... Question the timing. We're supposed to be talking about the failure of the health care. That everybody was up until 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning till that thing came down. That decision came down. And now the vote came down. We're talking about something totally different. Why? Because Donald Trump created the news. He's controlling the news cycles. I hope I'm not the only one who can see that. I mean, it's like producing a show. Always entertained. He's always manipulating, turning it around. Now in his mind, he's still the greatest president since Abraham Lincoln. I don't know where in the hell. How can you have a madman running the country? He's mad. He's a lunatic. He's accomplished nothing. All he does is go and sign these papers. I mean, how long does it take to sign up? He don't even know what's in the bills. All he knows is Barack Obama was for it, so he's against it. And he signs it. That's what he considered accomplishments. He ain't put no kind of work in. He ain't put no kind of work in that healthcare thing. He's not capable of it. He can't concentrate. So I just want to acknowledge, game recognized game. No worse feeling than feel like you've been played or you're being played. That is no coincidence that this man has taken over the news cycle, changed it. They say he watches television obsessively. So even though he made them all fake news and all this kind of stuff, he's still watching. How we know he's still watching? Because we know he knows everything they say. And then he gets in there and says, how can I change it? Throws people under the bus. Literally, this one here was the closest thing. If I think of the analogy, throwing a person under the bus, this will always be in my mind. The way that man took that man. Because when he got off the plane, we were waiting. The reporters were waiting to ask him about the failure of the healthcare, right? What are they talking about? Something totally, completely different. Why? Because Donald Trump just fired Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. It's blatant. Anybody in that White House do not feel comfortable. Now they done brought the mooch in. The mooch. He tell you something else. They always give each other nicknames. Black too, but they give the mooch. So maybe the mooch picked up his name. Where would the mooch pick up his name? He must have been a moocher at some point. Maybe before he got rich, he was some kind of moocher, because the nicknames start usually early. Like in the streets, my name was Jabber. Why? Because when we were in jail, you know, you got to talk between the bars and run your mouth all day. And at that point, I was talking a lot, yelling back and forth. So somebody in the jailhouse named me Jabber, and that stuck. That stuck to me until I gave up dope life. So over 20 years. Somebody has named that man Mooch for a reason. Now, what is a mooch? I don't know what a moocher is. I thought a moocher was somebody always begging. Who knows where it came from? But the mooch is in. Does anybody really believe that this man got hired and the very first day on the job, he comes in talking about all these motherfuckers this and he's an idiot and what do you call that man? A psychopath son of a bitch and all this kind of stuff, cocksucker or whatever he called him. Called him all this stuff. Now, would you do that on the first day of the job and you working for the president of the United States and the president has no idea? No, of course, Trump sent him out there to do that, to humiliate this man. Just like he's humiliating the other one, Sessions. It's got to be humiliation in it. That's the game. He's got to be the one. He got to be the puppet master. So when he had that man throw that boy under the bus like that, I don't know why Priebus would just put up with it. We should have been able to guess what was coming. Those two couldn't work together. We should have known right then. If Trump allowed that to do that, there was a reason for it. He sanctioned it. So anyway, don't be distracted, people. Donald Trump has just lost health care, took it through the whole system, the whole thing that they had to go through. And I don't even believe that I'm just learning politics, really, or paying attention, because this dude keeps me paying attention. John McCain, there's probably something that those Republicans already knew. They needed 3. So the 2 women, they already knew they had them, and they didn't want it to pass. So they needed somebody to come in. John McCain is ill now. There's nothing going to happen to him. He's not chasing after any career. He's the perfect person to come in and cast that vote. They even throw him in off his hospital bed to come to cast that vote. Is it a coincidence that his vote was a no? Oh, they planned that. They're not mad at him. That was the Republican plan. They knew it was a lousy plan. It was lousy. And some people, I guess, can see a pass today. Trump doesn't. He just sees winning and losing. But anybody else would say, well, we can't pass a health care bill, and then next year we're going to be trying to explain about the health care. We're going to put the same goddamn nightmare that Brock had to take on. These guys, man. Anyway. So the news is supposed to be healthcare loss. Instead, it has been total. I sat up there and watched television for 2 hours. 2 hours. I think I heard the word healthcare 3 times. It's supposed to be all over the news. I mean, we stayed up to 3 o'clock in the morning to watch, right? Totally shifted. All they're talking about is this boy, Reince Priebus. An abuser, Donald Trump, bruiser, and a bully. So all you people in there smiling and grinning behind the scenes in the White House, do not be comfortable, because just like they went, your ass will go too. Anytime you need to change the narrative, obviously one of y'all going to be sacrificed. Remember where you heard that.